This is the most satisfying part of my day. Perfection. Another one's done. I want to show you guys, in my opinion, how these trucks should have been built from the factory. What we have here is our typical 2015 G550 that has been modified by us. It is running the 20-inch AMG wheels. However, it's sitting on 33-inch Falcon AT4 tires with our 2-inch suspension system. And what this is comprised of is JWO 2-inch lift springs, Fox 2.0 shocks, our braided stainless brake lines, our awesome Fox ATS pass-through steering damper, which with the bracket that only we make, allows the truck to go down the road with neutral handling and doesn't dart to one side or the other. Whenever you do the 2-inch suspension lift, you also have to have the caster correction bushings, and we also do new radius arm bushings. And then obviously the truck got a full suite of braided stainless steel brake lines, diff lock lines, everything needed to make the truck go down the road. Now, the reason I love this package, and I think these G Wagons should have come this way from the factory, is the stance, the look, and the overall proportions. These are not small vehicles. No matter what anybody says, they look better with bigger wheels and tires. And a 33-inch wheel and tire combo on a vehicle like this, nothing short of perfection. That's not all. There's a couple other little things. You may notice that the running boards are gone. Those ones that Mercedes has that's chrome and rubber and a bunch of crap thrown together, we threw those in the trash. This is our in-house rock sliders that we make, and this is such a clean aesthetic for these trucks. This is powder coated, it's textured, and they are 100% sealed. These are also stout enough that if you ever got in a jam off-road, you can actually rest the truck on this without risk of any body damage. And you can put a high lift on this and jack the whole side of the truck up because we completely increased the mounting surface area. One of the other things, a little Easter egg that you may or may not have noticed on this, is you don't see an exhaust hanging down and exhaust pipes coming out. This is where we use the factory exhaust mufflers, but we modify and we trim the tips so that they're tucked up. You don't need to sacrifice your sound quality. You can still have that factory throaty guttural sound of the G Wagons. Just trim the tips up and reroute the hangers on the backside, and you have a fully functional exhaust that is out of the way of rocks and other debris on the road. It's a great, budget-friendly, easy on the eyes, totally functional way to do things. And it's part of the way we operate. Everything has to be 100% functional. Aesthetics just happen to follow because it's awesome. So going around the rest of the truck, it is kind of the cream white color. It's got a blacked out front bull bar. It just sits right. It's a no frills, very utilitarian, purpose-built truck. The interesting thing about this, the client has purchased the truck, had it shipped directly to us. He has not even driven the truck yet, and he's gonna fly in here in about an hour and take delivery of this thing. I've had the pleasure of driving it for the last couple days to shake it down. I'm very happy with it, and I love the fact that the truck sits right, has bigger wheels and tires, can go over all sorts of different terrain, and you sacrifice nothing going down the road. Really, really cool package. Aside from that, the rest of the truck is largely stock. We did do the command upgrade on the inside, which is you have the bigger screen. And you've seen this on some of our other videos, but the inside of these trucks really don't need a whole lot. I mean, with this, you have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You can have all your maps fully integrated. It just makes your driving experience a whole lot better. But, you know, aside from some routine maintenance, we did some transmission services, all the gearboxes, all the differentials got serviced, and it's brought everything up to speed, maintenance and service-wise. This thing's ready to roll. Kind of a neat truck. Okay, now, to complete the aesthetic, we have these 20-inch AMG wheels with the 33-inch Falcon AT tires. People ask us all the time, do you want to do the 5th spare as the factory spare, or do you want to put on a matching? This one we chose to do a matching spare, reverse tire carrier with the same size spare tire. Now, there's a reason we do this, and this is very important. If you want to rotate your tires and have all of them wear out at the same time, you can get about 50,000 miles out of these, by the way. It's important that you have a matching spare. So on a vehicle like this, it's gonna be used in the mountains, it's gonna hit snow, it's gonna see all the different weather conditions. If you get in a bind and you pop a tire, you wanna have one that you can put on there that's ready to go without having to sacrifice any drivability. You just want it to work. So that's why we get the matching spare that does have a TPMS sensor. Believe it or not, Mercedes only puts 4 TPMS sensors in these. So if you put a spare on there, it's gonna light up your dash. We actually put a fifth one in there and we program it so you're ready to roll. That's really important. Now, here's your little bit of information. If you've got a G Wagon with all 5 wheels and tires that are the same size, the question we get asked is, how do we rotate our tires for this and how do we incorporate that? To simplify it, on a vehicle like this where everything is 100% matching, just do everything in a clockwise manner. So that means the spare then goes on this wheel. This wheel goes up front. That front wheel goes to the other side, and that front one goes to the back, and the back one on the passenger side goes to the spare, just to simplify it, just clockwise it. And I usually tell my folks, do that every single oil change. It usually costs 50 bucks to have your shop go ahead and service, rotate the stuff when you have it in there for service. It's cheap, it keeps everything well balanced, well rotated, and it just prolongs the life of everything. So there's your little tidbit of information for your G Wagon when you have all 5 wheels and tires that are the same size. Well, as I've stated, these vehicles should come like this from the factory. So we're gonna just show. This is nothing representative of an off-road park. This is not anything more than a field and some hills, but I don't know, we're not going slow. We're just kind of farting around. But come up to a hill, just piece of cake, keep going. What's up, man? All right, for the keyboard warriors out there, yes, we got permission to do this. We did ask rather than ask for forgiveness later. Normally we just get after it, but we gotta wait for old Bertha to get moving there. For those of you not knowing what that is a Caterpillar 615C earth mover scraper. It's a belly scraper. It picks up 15 cubic yards of dirt before it dumps it out at its next location. Fun fact, when I was younger, I used to have a job driving one of those. Kind of really boring, by the way. So that was an example of why we do this, and why Mercedes didn't build these this way from the factory is beyond me. My only guess is, well, they had an engineer locked in a room and he wanted out, so he just kept designing the same thing over and over again without any inspiration. Or he was stuck in the EU and didn't know what it was like in America where you have dirt. So anyway, as you see, everything has to be fully functional. It has to be able to completely dominate on-road and off-road. Now that's not dominating off-road, it's just having fun off-road. But the point I'm trying to get across is it is more than capable. You can go across all sorts of uneven terrain, have some fun, and get back on the road and drive it home. There's no bad things about it. It's perfectly well-mannered, perfectly behaved, and we are sacrificing nothing, zero on-road drivability for this. Tires are smooth. The ride quality is fantastic, arguably better than factory. It is smoother. It's an awesome package. So going on record to say this is my favorite G Wagon package, the 2-inch lift. If you got to live with it every single day and use it for utilitarian purposes, we've got it dialed. Okay, so to recap, what does that include? The 2-inch lift is springs, shocks, brake lines, caster correction bushings, some radius arm bushings, and 33-inch tires. You can either use your factory wheels for 33-inch tires, or you can use aftermarket wheels. For this one, we chose AMG 20-inch wheels for the aesthetic and stuck with 33-inch tires, and there is a 30mm spacer in there just for aesthetics purposes to get the offset to be where it wants to be. The other part of the equation I did touch on earlier in the video is going to be your 5th tire, your reverse. And this one we opted to get 5 wheels that are all the same size, so you can rotate it, and it's much more serviceable, but we also flipped it around so the face of the wheel is out for aesthetic purposes. So in a nutshell, that is all the pieces and parts that's needed for the 2-inch suspension package. Also, extra goodies on top are our running boards, or rock sliders as you call them. Those things are super tough. They look aesthetically pleasing and they are 100% functional. And we have the exhaust mod in there as well, where we utilize the factory exhaust mufflers because the trucks are loud. They have some throat to them, but we trim the bottoms of them up so we're not hanging down low, and it's a very functional and usable package. Okay, some other questions that we get asked are, why do we use Fox shocks over Coney Raids or Kings or Victus? And for this purpose, it's the best budget-friendly proposition out here. It has the best value. You can use it on a daily basis. You have a little bit of adjustability and dialability, so you can make it stiffer or softer. But from a budgetary standpoint, it's not the cheapest. It's definitely not the most expensive, but it gets you the best bang for the buck for 80% of the clientele out there. And that's why we sell that product more often than not. Coney Raids is also a good example. However, they are a fix it and forget it type of product, meaning there's very little adjustment. And when it comes time to adjust it, you really have to commit to it, except to pull them off the truck. Kings are a great way to go. Those are by far my favorites, along with the Victus. They are tops. However, they are a lot different price bracket. So that's why we use Fox. Tires. People ask us, what is the correct tire for your G Wagon? By and large, I always say a quality all-terrain tire is where you want to be. Street tires are fine if you don't plan on going off-road. However, all-terrains, there's a couple great variants out there. You've got Falcons, you've got Toyos, you've got Nittos, and there's a lot of them out there that are quality. And so it's just a matter of finding the one that fits with your aesthetic and works and is the right package. Oh man, take a look at this. For those of you not knowing, Connor literally just detailed this, and it's a little dirty on the outside. He's feeling a little defeated right now. Poor guy. To be fair, I will say, that is Connor, and for any of you that have called into the shop, you usually get him on the phone. He also handles our washing duty. And anyway, we love that guy. He puts in the work, but it looks like I'm buying him lunch today, to say the least. So as you see, we have a G Wagon that's fully built, fully functional, and much to the chagrin of Connor over here, the guy puts in work. He cleans up everything, makes it all look great, and he just washed this before I took it out. So obviously I owe the guy lunch because he's gonna have to wash it again. But anyway, thanks for watching. This truck is fantastic. I love it. And thanks, Connor, for all your hard work.
Of course.
Thanks again. Talk to you soon.